Hello everyone, this is the new Class 24 from a new manufacturer on the model railway market, Sutton's Locomotive Works. This was announced at the weekend at an exclusive event in Paul, which I was lucky enough to receive an invite to. Sutton's Locomotive Works is a new name in the model railway world, part of the Rail Exclusive brand. And this is their first model, which is all completely new, no retooling, built from the ground up and designed with the digital controller and sound in mind. So there's loads and loads of functions on DCC. Two versions are being produced to start with. This one is 24081 in BR blue. The other one, I'm forgetting the number now, but it's in BR green, and it was one of the first locos to be produced as the Class 24. 24081 being the last running in BR service before withdrawal. Very, very highly detailed model. Lots of separate parts attached. So yes, it will be a delicate model, but the detailing on this is tremendous. Even the cab interior, you've got painted seats, painted controls, you've got the warning signs on the bulkhead are actually readable, most of it, if you've got a magnifying glass. You've got all the head code discs with lighting. The lighting itself, the head and tail lights, is controlled separately under DCC. Cab lighting. The amount of detail and thought that's gone into the production of this model is outstanding. So that's one end. If we just move the camera around, you can have a quick look at the other end. Oh, my fingers. So that's the 24. Now this comes in a rather nice tin, metal tin, not your usual sort of Hornby and Bachmann cardboard boxes. So there's the Rail Exclusive fine scale model collection tin, and then within that it's foam lined, and you actually get a little display case which the loco sits in. It is held in by two screws, so a little bit of a pain if you want to keep it boxed and have it out to run every so often. You've got to undo the screws, but I can tell you now it is kept securely within this box with hopefully no damage to the loco, unlike some of the Hornby and Bachmann packaging. Inside there also you get some extra detailing parts, so there's some more head code discs. There's my blanking chip. I was actually one of the first to get a sound version, and Philip actually installed the sound for me at the event over the weekend. And you've got your couplers there. Detailing parts are fitted to both front and back of the locomotive, but you can take them off, and you've got your coupling in there, and you've got some extra detailing parts there as well, which I think things like brake shoes, etc. And there's the two screws that hold the loco in its display case. It'd be quite nice to actually take the plastic out of the display case and actually display the loco. But that's the case. Haven't received any instructions with this because I've received one of the first sound models. But we've had a play over the weekend. Thank you to Paul Chetter. And I'll just show you some of the sound functions available. Now I've got a Bachmann Dynamis, 20 sound functions on the Dynamis. On the sound chip on this loco there's 28 sound functions, so I won't be able to show you them all, but here we go. We'll start her up. There's two speakers in here which are of similar quality to those used in iPads and iPhones, one at each end, and the digital chip So that's the engine up and running. The thing I like about this is Paul Chetter has worked alongside Phil at Sutton's Locomotive Works, and this loco has been designed around the sound to get as much from it as possible. You've got the separate braking function on here, so once you've pulled away, if you take controller back to 0, put her into coast. On my controller it's function 2, and I press that a little bit to apply the brake gently, or I can hold my finger down on it and that will put like an emergency stop in. So you've got very good control over the locomotive. If I just turn that off for a second, and we'll go through some of the other sounds. You've got the usual horns, so here's your low horn and your high-low horn. That's on 3 and 4. Functions 5, 6 and 7 are to do with your notching up sounds, so more power, less power, etc. when she's actually moving. Function 8, you've got buffer up, and function 8 again, couple up. Now with this sound chip, when you've got the latching functions set, there's actually 2 sounds to some of them. One when you turn it on, one when you turn it off. So if we do that again, if I turn function 8 on, there's the buffer up. If I turn it off, there's the couple up. So you've actually got more sound than the 28 available functions, because some of them do 2 sounds. Your usual brake squirrel doesn't sound too bad compared to some other sound chips. Some of them can be quite irritating, I find. We've got some sounds from inside the cab, so when the driver's prepping the loco, the start of his shift, etc. So we've got battery power on. So he'll open up his little cover on the battery box button, turn it on, it'll give a quick ding on the fire bell as the electrics come on, and then when we turn that function back off again, he's closed the box. Next one, we've got door open, and if I press the button again, door being slammed shut. Key on and AWS reset on function 12. (13) I think is your compressor on and off. (14) is winding on or off the handbrake. (15) is for those fitted with steam heat boilers. Some of you might recognise this sound. If I turn that off, she blows. Functions 16 and 17 are to do with the guard. So function 17 is your whistle. Now function 16, going back one, is the guard talking to the driver. There's 2 versions which can be changed within the settings. One is for freight and one is for passenger. This is set up for passenger. So it's the guard talking to the driver.
Hey up, George. 4 Mark 1s, that's 210 ton. Rate force equals 150 ton. Maximum is 90. If you can wind her up that far. See you later.
18 is couplings. Actually, no, I believe that might be buffering up to wagons and throwing them around a little bit. 19, which is a nice little addition to the sound, is your detonators. By that point, I hope he's stopped. Number 20, not too sure what that is. Sounds like a switch. And as I said earlier, functions 21 to 28 I cannot do on my controller because my controller is only limited to 20 sound functions. We'll just give her a quick start up and we'll demonstrate quickly what she sounds like on the move. The sound from this is brilliant with the 2 speakers, very high quality. So there we go, just change direction, we'll send her down to the other end of the test track. We're only applying a little bit of power there, so we'll put her back into coast. Need a little bit more power. If we just apply the brake with function 2, nice and gently. Right, change direction. I'm going to whack the controller up to around about 40, so she's going to pull away nicely. Bring the controller down a little bit, just to take some power off. And all the way off to coast. And then we're going to apply the brake ever so slightly. And the blanket's there on purpose to stop it from running off the end of the test track. I actually had my finger on the brake there for a second just to rev her up her a little bit, give you a taste of the sound produced. And we'll bring her to a stop and shut down the engine. That's the Class 24 from Sutton's Locomotive Works with sound by Paul Chetter. Available to the general public in the next couple of weeks. Enjoy!